Welcome! Today we're creating our Bluebird of Happiness project. This cheerful design features a bright flower blooming from a flower pot with a sweet bluebird perched on its side. I've already base coated the flower pot gray, and next we'll begin painting the flower and bird. As you work, remember that there's no right or wrong way to create. Just enjoy the process and have fun bringing your project to life. When using your makeup sponge, remember to lightly load it with paint and dab off any excess before applying it to your project. Building up the color in light layers will give you the smoothest finish and help create soft blended effects. So you can see here, I've base coated the flower pot gray, added a little green for the stem, and it's okay to go outside of the lines of that because we're going to cover it. And you're going to do your yellow center, your cactus flower color for your flower petals, and the bluebird is blue. And then go back over and give anything a second coat as needed. Now you can take off your flower and the flower center, and we're going to do a little bit of brush work on the bird. Before we do that though, we're going to add a little bit of yellow with a liner brush onto its beak and give a little eye with a stylus or a dotting tool. And then we can add some detail, and this is totally optional at this point. But if you would like to lightly brush a little bit of white with a dry sponge and just kind of lightly drag some white paint across with hardly any paint at all. Like, you want to take off as much paint as you can. And you can always add more, but it's harder to take it away if you get too much on there. So we're just lightly focusing on the ends, on the edges, and adding a little bit of white just to tone down all that gray and give it an aged look. Now we're ready to start gluing. So you can use any craft glue or whatever you have on hand and add a few dots and put the brim of the flower pot on and line up your edges, make sure everything's even. And then you're going to do the same thing with your little bird. Just mainly on the body is where you need to put the glue for that, but you want to make sure it's even with the bottom of the pot so it'll stand up correctly. And then add your wing, add your flower, and turn it if needed to make sure it's lining up correctly. And once that's in place, then you're going to add your flower center. And now everything is all assembled and ready to go. Now at this point, if you would like to add a little bit of details, you can take a liner brush and some watered down white paint and add some lines here and there if you would like. And this is a totally optional thing at this point. Just add some lines here and there, and then you could even add some dots with your stylus or dotting tool. And you can add dots and give that some extra detail there. And then once that is completely dry, you'll flip it over, and you want to give those dots a few minutes to dry. And actually you could flip it over, add the backer on, and then flip it back over and do the dotting and line work if you would like. But this is how you put on the back piece. So you're going to line it up with the bottom of the flower pot. And then for the circle, the quarter circle, if you want, you can glue it in, add some glue into the slot and slide it in there, or you can opt to be able to take it out, and that way you can store it flat. And this is personal preference as well. But we'll show it here how we glue it. So you want to give that a few minutes to dry, and then you can flip it over and your project is ready to display. Our Bluebird of Happiness project is now complete. I hope you enjoyed this creative time and are proud of what you've made today. Remember, creativity isn't about being perfect. It's about enjoying the process and expressing yourself. Thank you for painting along with us. We can't wait to create with you again soon. Until next time, keep creating, keep smiling, and have a wonderful day.